I was excited to see when Gene said, "Hey, let's do Titane," because I had seen it before, and
I'd never seen this thing.
and so I was like, "This will be an interesting episode," because I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Gene has to say about this one. It's a French film, came out, I don't even remember,
20,
2024,
21.
2021, from the director of Raw, which was a film we both enjoyed. But let's see
Yeah,
if
and
we
one of
both enjoy
the
this
star
one.
of Raw is actually in this movie
Hmm.
for a surprisingly short amount of
Yep,
time.
for
Yeah,
sure.
right.
But Gene, where are you at with Titane?
Titane, it's like it can get into plot into this a lot, but I think mainly it's better for this movie to be talking about themes. Because I think this movie, that's the power of this movie. And this movie won a ton of awards when it came out, like independent movie awards. I mean, no Oscars or BAFTAs or anything like that, but lots of awards. But I think the theme really is that, darn it, it just is easier to believe a lie than to really investigate and to explore what the truth is. And there's just a lot of in this movie that is just not true. It's just a lie, and people go along with it. And I think in a way that kind of fits in with our modern reality that we're living in, And this movie is a lot of that. It's just the kind of the bending of reality. There's this one fire chief. He was very influential. He leads this firehouse, and he has lots of recruits. And anyway, 10 years ago in the movie, he lost his son. And anyway, he sees this person and he thinks, oh, that's my son. Although it doesn't look like his son at all. But he's like, that's my son. And the investigator says, hey, let's do a DNA test. And he's like, no, I know what my son looks like. And so, but this is a woman. So this person starts the movie as Alexa. Alexa is involved in a car accident when she's little. She gets a piece of titanium right above her head, where I guess the hair doesn't grow back right here. But the movie gets into all these different ideas. Is that she's part metal, but does having metal in your body turn you into kind of a machine? Because she does a lot of bleeding in this movie, and she seems to bleed motor oil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, where did that come from? And then she makes love to a Cadillac that's hydraulic equipped Cadillac, and they're bouncing, and it's like to the motion of having sex, but the car's bouncing, and she's in the back seat. Her baby, she has a baby. I'm just gonna, at the end, but the baby has metal parts.
Mm-hmm.
Has metal parts. But in this movie, she turns from Alexa into Adrian, but she has to hide. She's a woman. She's a pregnant woman. She has to hide it. So she wraps her body to hide the breasts, and then she painfully tries to wrap her tummy because she's pregnant. And the movie has time elapses, so she gets increasingly bigger. That's what pregnant women do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she keeps wrapping it, and then she's intense pain, and then finally she can't hide it anymore, and in the process of hiding, and plus this woman, wherever she goes, death follows. And even when she's kind of adopted by the fire chief, who's warped his own reality to believe that this Alexa is now Adrian. So he warps his reality, and he tells his recruits, I love the line from this movie. He says, I'm God. And this person right here is Jesus. It's like, okay. So he has created his own world, and he is going to live in that world, even though, and then his ex-wife comes, and she just knows right away. But she has a private conversation with Adrian and just says, hey, I don't know what you're doing with this folly, but please just take care of him, treat him. And I think in her own way, she tries.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it collapses. It has to collapse. It doesn't last. And so I think there's some really deep themes here.
Well, and I think,
So
Gene,
yeah,
real quick, you're also
yeah.
missing out that she's a serial killer as well.
Yeah. Where death, wherever she is, death follows.
By her own hand.
Yes, yeah, and the one of the reasons why she's fleeing and she becomes Adrian is because she sets fire to a house, kills a whole bunch of people in the house, including her dad. Yeah, so yeah, death follows her wherever. Yeah, so this movie again, lots of body horror, tons and tons of nudity. You know, you're dealing with yeah. This movie just, I think part of good horror, it should make you feel uncomfortable, and this movie definitely does that. So would I recommend it? You know, no teenagers around, you know, adults only for sure. But it's good horror. This is good horror. Yeah.
Okay, I'm on the opposite side of the fence on this one.
Oh, really? I thought you'd like this thing.
I I don't dislike it, but I can't recommend it. This movie starts out really, really, really well. I enjoyed everything up until she decides to go into hiding as this other character.
Right.
And then to me, that all of the rest of the movie is kind of boring. I just wasn't going down that road because it starts out with some really graphic and a pretty amazing serial killer murder sequences. There's the whole sex scene with the car.
Yeah.
All of that.
You have a hard time figuring that thing out.
Well, which I'm
and the motor
that
one?
to me is like, okay, it's a French movie. They're going down some extreme French horror kind of stuff. I'm down with all that. But then when it changes and it becomes more of this, like Gene is saying, twisted reality from this fire chief,
Yeah.
I just kind of, the movie loses me there. And this was the second time I watched it. And sometimes movies like this, you have to watch them more than once because, oh, I didn't really like it the first time. Maybe I'm just not catching all the deep themes and all the blah, blah. No, it just turns into kind of just, it just bores me for the rest of the film once she gets hooked up with the fire chief. And it was a disappointment for me. And it harkened back a little bit to Martyrs, which does a similar thing, but a lot better. Because Martyrs, if you have seen that,
I would agree.
Martyr starts with a bunch of murders, really graphic. That whole shotgun to the face thing was amazing.
Down the street, yeah.
And then it turns into what the story proper is going to be, which is also really interesting and amazing. So you have a similar type of setup, but this one, the story just falls apart, in my opinion. It gets boring. I didn't really care. The only interesting part is when, yes, that mother does show up and is just like, I'm in crazy world right now with this ex-husband of mine. But that's 48 seconds of
and
film.
And you like that, the ex-wife. You like this woman. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, and I just think it's too long. It's an hour and 50 minutes, 40 minutes, somewhere in there.
I don't have a problem with that.
There's a lot of sequences of just revelry with the fire department team where they're dancing and all this stuff. It's just very French during that French New Wave.
That's weird. That was a weird part. Is that like a French thing? The French firefighters, they dance, just guys without their shirts on?
Yeah.
It's like, is that a...
And so I just couldn't keep going down that road with this movie. So I just wish they would have developed more of the human machine aspect of it. And
that's left up to wild interpretation. Yeah, and it's never explained. Yeah, this movie definitely has the phrase I like to use. It's the realm of possibility, and this movie definitely has a lot of clear violations of realm of possibilities. But I kind of give it a pass because giving the theme of this altering reality, it's this what you see is what is not your reality, and your mind is making the reality for you, and so kind of what you see is opposite. And I kind of like where the fire sequence, because the woman's trying to hide her identity, and then there's this one part where she gets praised and they put her on the top of a fire truck, and everyone else is dancing, so she starts dancing. But she was kind of an acclaimed dancer. She was like well known in like the dance world, and like people like goes, oh, can I get your autograph, and like this stuff. And so she reverts back to that. She starts dancing, and clearly she's not dancing like a guy, and she's dancing like a woman, and everyone knows it.
Like a stripper dance.
Yeah, exactly. Very erotic dancing. Yeah, that she's known in the, I should use that word, erotic dancing world. Yeah, yeah, she's well known. And so she reverts back to that, and she just can't help it. Yeah, and everyone knows, and you kind of see that the father, the fire chief guy, has to confront this reality now. It's just can't pretend anymore. It's just right there, and so kind of like shakes his world a little bit. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah.
Well, and then it shakes his world to such a point that he attempts to set himself on fire.
Which I was like, you're a fire chief and your body is on. Well, he pours a jacket or alcohol. Or
he's poured alcohol on himself.
Yeah,
and
he
then
drinks a ton, and then he takes a lot of drugs. Yeah, he takes IV injections into.
Well, he's doing steroids.
But yeah, steroids. It's wrecking his body. Yeah.
So.
This movie's horror. Does it try to explain everything? Absolutely not. But sometimes, good horror, good movies, they leave things unexplained.
Right. And I'm totally down with that aspect of horror where it's a thing that happened and there's no explanation.
Yeah.
This movie just gets too far off track.
I can see that.
It starts out great and then it just devolves into this kind of weird rest of the film. And I just don't like this movie very much. And I've seen it twice now. That's all I'm going to give this one.
I'm just going to see it one time. And this is it.
But I was just still, again, I have to go back to, I was just very intrigued to hear what Gene would say about this one because it makes no allusions as to what this movie is right at the beginning, where there's just a lot of writhing, erotic dancing going on.
Erotic dancing from the get-go. Boom.
I kept waiting for that text to come through where Gene's like, I'm 10 minutes in, I'm out. We're going to have to do something different.
It's horror. It does what horror should do.
Yeah.
To make you feel uncomfortable, and it does.
Yeah, for sure. Anything more to say about Titane?
I just really wanted the girl in Raw. They didn't write her name down to have a bigger role.
Yeah.
But her role is brief.
No, I was not. I was also expecting her to be in the film longer. Yes, for sure.
So I was kind of bummed at that.
And
whatever.
But you gotta do what you gotta do when you're a French filmmaker, right? Let's shock everyone. Kind of a
And I was just wondering, well, like, why did it win so many awards? And it's like,
well, this is highbrow critic bait for sure, right?
Sure. It's that whole thing. You got to interpret it.
Yeah,
and they leave the clues.
And just
the cinematography is good. I like that.
No, this is a type of movie that overseas, France or whatever.
Sure.
Of course, they're going to follow all over themselves.
The independent
like this,
film awards.
But I think a more mainstream audience. It's one of the lesser French films that I've seen. French horror films. So.
Yeah. I think I got it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gene, do we have any idea what we're going to do next week?
No, but we just said we're good for 2 weeks out. But after that, I don't know, Roger. I don't know.
Okay.
Figure out not another Cronenberg. Let's move.
No, I'm probably I've allowed Gene now, I think, to pick the last three.
No, I'm picking the next one because there's this Jessie Buckley is going to be the bride. By the time we roll around, the bride will be in the movie theater. So that's what we're watching.
All right.
Okay. Jessie Buckley. I'm a huge Jessie Buckley fan. Yeah, we're doing.
All right. Well,
and Min was not that terrible.
So what Gene attempted to convince me to do after the Men movie was Mother, which I can only do one pretentious movie a year, and you wanted to do them back to back.
It's Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh my God!
Come on, it can't. I have not seen it. Mother, Jennifer Lawrence horror. It can't be that bad.
It is.
Come on.
Coming off of Men, which is the most pretentious movie ever, this one's maybe the second most pretentious movie ever. My God, no. And I even said I'm not doing that movie.
Yeah,
It might.
you use rather a
F,
pretty aggressive
F that
curse
movie.
words. Yeah,
Yeah.
curse words.
So you might end up with an episode that's just Gene talking movies, and it'll be Mother.
Yeah, I need to get the Roger stand in. I've never done that actually. Get the Roger stand in. But I don't know. I'm not that invested into Mother. I thought Min wasn't that bad because it's the themes of misogyny are well in front of us. 2026, it's all around us.
Yeah.
You think as a culture we would evolve? Fuck that. We're just as misogynistic as we've always been. And actually, some people want to take us back there.
Yeah, but
Fucking
this
A.
movie is not the one to hammer that into your head.
Why are we talking about this movie?
I don't know why you're bringing it back up. But anyway, we will catch you next time with something interesting. Thanks,
Yeah. We'll
thanks for
figure something
tuning
out.
in.
No, it'd be Bride. It'd be Bride for sure. Roger, I don't know. Why do you not like to go to movie theaters? Movie theaters are cool.
I don't mind going to movie theaters. There's just a time constraint sometimes that makes it difficult for me to do that.
Sure. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I went to see Primate, so
Primate. Yeah. That's a review with a bunch of people. Yeah.
So anyway, we'll catch you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.